I saw this piece of terrible news. I thought we should talk about it. Warner Music Group partners with Suno to offer AI likenesses of its artists. So Warner, one of the three remaining big labels left. There's three left. Three big ones, right? The big three. It used to be like 20. There's three now. There's Warner, there's Universal, and there's Sony. Those are the big three houses left. Now, up until this point, they had all been fighting AI. They'd been trying to guard against it. Now, lest anyone be mistaken, none of this fight from their end was about, you know, protecting the integrity of music or even necessarily protecting the rights of the artists on their label, but it's about making sure that products aren't made using AI that references their artists and their copyrighted works without them getting a little taste, without them getting a little piece. That's all. That's all they want, is a little piece. And so they've been standing up to it for now, but slowly but surely, looks like they're going to start making deals with these AI companies. Warner Music Group partners with Suno to offer AI likenesses of its artists. The record label has also dropped its lawsuit against Suno, which will soon allow users to make AI generated music using voices from participating WMG artists. I would ask the chat here, because this is what I don't know. So my question to the chat and to the comments, if this ends up on YouTube, is anyone actually interested in making music using AI generated voices from Warner Music artists? Like, is that something people are sitting around wishing they could do? I think it lists some of Warner's artists down here: Ed Sheeran, 21 Pilots, Dua Lipa, Charlie XCX. A couple of them got some good songs. A couple of them have, made some good things. They're all very successful artists. But is anybody sitting around at home? Is anybody sitting around at home like, I can't wait until I'm allowed to use artificial intelligence tools to make myself an Ed Sheeran song? Whether that's for personal enjoyment or releasing it out into the world for some reason. I just can't imagine that there's a big demand for that. And that's part of why, like, there have been a lot of conversations about AI lately, but one that I think is most interesting, and this sort of gets at the question I just asked. A lot of speculation and investment in AI is sort of propping up our economy right now. And that's why people are saying there's an AI bubble, just like there was a dot-com bubble. That a lot of the money flowing from investors and a lot of money flowing from business to business in the background is tech companies trying to convince other corporations and businesses how much people want AI, so that people continue to invest in this technology and buy these NVIDIA chips and build these data centers, because the people who stand to make profit off of this AI development are convincing other businesses that people want this stuff really bad. But then you got to think about it on a product level, right? I find myself using my phone, swimming in apps offering me AI options that I do not want. This is my experience. I don't know if this is also your experience. I'm in my Gmail and AI is reading my email for me and trying to summarize it. I don't really want that. Google searches, Google Maps. I'm putting in what I want, and it's offering me AI summaries of information that is often incorrect. Messaging on apps, it's offering me AI replies that I don't want. I don't want. Now, I don't know if people want these things. That's why I'm asking, because maybe I'm just by myself and not wanting any of these things. But that's the scary notion in some of this. All of this development, all of this speculation, all of these business to business sales is based on this premise that we as consumers want these things. I don't want it. So it seems like just on the economy alone, this is headed down a dark path, right? Because what happens when all of these companies spend all this money on this AI development of products that nobody uses? Then shit starts to collapse again, right? Mr. Myers in the chat. Someone recently played me a new AI Nirvana song on YouTube after a similar conversation. Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy the new Nirvana song? Did the person showing it to you enjoy it? Or was it just like a novelty? Was it just like somebody showing you a car crash or something like that? It made me nearly sick. And of course, there's that larger problem economically with AI that, of course, and it is already built into the jobs reports. There's already corporations announcing for their quarterly earnings reports that they are doing less hiring because of AI. That they're letting humans that they would typically replace in the workforce after they leave, they're allowing them to leave because they're planning to replace those people's jobs with AI. So, it's another reason why this attention and focus on AI is harmful. And that's just on the economy. You get into the data centers and how it poisons, you get into the copyright and how it steals from artists. There's a lot of causes of concern. But this is where we are. Warner Music has struck a licensing deal with the AI music creation platform Suno. Under the agreement, Warner Music Group will allow users to create AI-generated music on Suno using the voices, names, likenesses, and images and compositions of artists who opt into the program, which is an interesting wrinkle. Warner Music is making this deal, and I'm not sure if the details... Oh, wait a minute. Under the agreement, this might be clickable. Oh, a new chapter in music creation. So this is a Suno blog, which is probably not going to give me the details I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like, what is Warner getting? Because I'm assuming Warner is getting some licensing fees out of this somehow, or else why would they agree to it? But it doesn't appear that it's showing anything that detailed on here. This is their blog, so it's just more selling the bullshit to us. Okay. Under the agreement, allow users, to opt into the program, which is interesting. Because I guess if you're Dua Lipa, or your Dua Lipa's management team, you're going to get an email that says yes or no. It's going to be an email version of a folded up piece of paper, and it says AI likes you. Do you like it back? And then circle yes or no. And then Dua Lipa and Dua Lipa's management team is going to have to decide what to do with the email that feels like a folded up piece of paper. WMG, which owns record labels that have signed musicians, participating artists will have full control over how their likeness and music are used, so it doesn't share how. And there you go, right? So now the question is, what incentive do these artists have in order to allow this to happen? Does Warner Brothers give them any incentives? Do they make any money through this licensing agreement that would encourage them to allow people to use their image and their voice and their likeness to allow people to create this stuff? I think these are the interesting questions and will sort of shape the direction that a lot of this goes in. These will be new creation experiences from artists who do opt in, which will open up new revenue streams for them. I would love to know how that works. So maybe how it would work was similarly to how it works for, let's say, music on YouTube, for instance. If you remember that Harlem Shake video craze from, over a decade ago now, and how that sort of transformed YouTube from a place where it was very discouraged to use other people's music to make videos, but suddenly when that song came along, everybody was encouraged to make a video to go with the song. Now, behind the scenes, this was one of the first times that a rights holder in YouTube came to an agreement about the copyright holder receiving all ad revenue for any videos associated with this song. So this dance craze, this viral craze, right, became more money for the people who made and owned the copyright to this song. So maybe it's a similar thing with this AI stuff where once, Ed Sheeran has given his approval for this, then anytime somebody makes a fake Ed Sheeran song with it's going to be Ed Sheeran's voice and Ed Sheeran like composition, and they could be talking about their pet dog or whatever, which is another can of worms. Like, what would you be approving for people to do with your voice? How much restriction could be on what the subject matter of these fake songs are? It sort of reminds me of Cameo. When Cameo first started, a lot of people who signed up on there were, very much enjoying making the extra money that comes from, hey, record yourself telling my boss happy birthday, Bret Hart. And he's like, sure, mate. And he didn't say mate because he's not from the UK. But he was enjoying that money. But then people started having people record messages that had like coded racist Nazi stuff in it, just because nobody could flag that. Nobody would notice it. If you weren't deeply embedded in those corners of the internet, you wouldn't have known what these particular words meant. And that became really scary for folks on Cameo. I feel like they've worked out some ways to protect them against it now, but we're entering that same sort of wild, wild west with AI now, where, you're going to have Ed Sheeran singing about Hitler until somebody comes up with a way to make them stop. Oh, boy. New creation experience from artists who do opt in, which will open up new revenue streams for them and allow you to interact with them in new ways. Users will be able to build around an artist's sounds and ensure they get compensated. So that's where we are now, folks. We got 3 major record labels left, and one of them has already opted out of any sort of fight against AI. They have made a deal with one of the bigger platforms, and one would only assume the others assume to follow if this Warner deal looks encouraging to them. WMG is also dropping out of a lawsuit originally filed with Universal Music Group and Sony, alleging Suno illegally ripped their copyrighted works from YouTube. So now it's letting go of this fight because it wants to make products with them. It's letting go of the copyright issue that was brought up to begin with, and that's that all of these models are trained on copyrighted works already. In recent weeks, major music labels have begun to embrace AI, says this article. WMG similarly settled with AI music maker Udio earlier this month, while UMG ended its litigation against the platform in favor of a licensing agreement. So I guess Universal Music Group has already pulled out of litigation with another AI music platform. The quote-unquote ethical AI music platform, Clay, I haven't even heard of this ethical AI music platform, Clay, has also struck deals with UMG, Sony, and WMG. So the ethical one, whatever that means, has already struck deals with all 3. Dr. Von Draw, thanks for the bits. Let's click through this Clay thing. What's Clay? I don't know what Clay is. Major music labels. I don't know. Stop. No, I don't want. Do not want. Okay, well, let's see. Clay AI music. Okay, Lander. Nothing's coming up for Clay music. Okay. All right. Clay Vision Incorporated is now the first artificial intelligence music startup to land deals with Warner. Okay. Making it the first time. Clay uses its interactive tool large music model, which is trained solely on licensed music. Oh, so that's why they're ethical, because they're only training their robots on licensed music. I see. Okay. Well, All right. So right. So they were in on that one because that one's already like, hey, we want to do licenses with you to train our robots with, versus the others who were just like, just feed the robots whatever we want. Okay. Um, Along with the licensing agreement, Suno is planning to use licensed music from WMG to build next gen music generation models that it claims will surpass its flagship, whatever the fuck, and will also start requiring users to have a paid account to download songs starting next year. So currently, what I'm inferring from that is that you can use their AI models to create fake songs from people and download them for free. But it's going to, right, next year is going to make people pay, because then that's the money that they can share with the rights holders, in this case, WMG, with each tier providing a specific number of downloads each month. Okay, I get it. So they're using the crack cocaine model here. The first one's free, and then you got to start paying. First one's free. It's funny, the analogs of all of this into like urban type. I don't know if I want to group those things together, but it's interesting to me that they're using the crack cocaine approach in terms of getting people hooked on this new technology. First one's free, going to the middle school and passing out free rocks, and now you got fiends for the rest of their life. And then also how so much of this AI stuff is sampling. It's sampling, basically, which copyright holders had decided they were against with hip hop for 50 years now. But now that they're trying to make deals with these companies, it seems like they're embracing sampling after all. It seems like they're embracing it now. This is where we are, folks. Corporations, rights holders, who are unfortunately, the most powerful players in these things, are starting to, like this article says, embrace AI, and we will see where this goes. But again, I am sort of stuck on the question of who wants to use this. And does anybody who's even interested in making fake Ed Sheeran songs do it for longer than 2 weeks before they get bored? Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.